welcome back to your podcast, our podcast, the Popular Side Podcast. As always, we have Yinka Yusuf.
Hello, people.
And Akin Adike. Yinka.
Yes, sir.
Opening Sunday of many leagues around the world. How are you doing? I know this is your Eid plus Christmas plus every public holiday plus everything mixed together. Birthday, wedding anniversary. This is it. This is everything.
This is it. We've been looking forward to this. So can you imagine? So yesterday, I had a speaking. I don't want to say I had to facilitate a training, but I had some official event to attend to in the morning.
Okay, big mountains. Okay, all right.
Kind of. And the thing kept on dragging. It didn't finish until like noon or thereabout, and it started very early. And then there was one crazy traffic getting back home. So the Liverpool Ipswich match, I actually watched it in my car on my phone.
Wow.
And luckily I had someone driving me. I wasn't driving, so I could watch the game.
I wasn't going to ask. I don't want to know.
No. You know how lazy I am with driving these days. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Plus you can't really do that in Lagos.
I used to love driving. I think I still love long distance driving. Yeah. But driving around Lagos,
that's different. Yeah.
I hate it now. It's a lot. So I don't know what happened yesterday. Some my road authorities decided to fix Third Mainland.
Third Mainland bridge. They just fixed it.
Not really Third Mainland. Before you get to the bridge, there are some roads. So they decided to fix some places early Saturday morning, and there was just backlog of traffic all the way coming into the island from the mainland. But I caught the Liverpool game on my phone. Then I got home. I settled and I watched almost every other game that I could watch on my 7 screens, as you put it.
As you always do. It's so funny though because a 3 p.m. London start for us would be 10 a.m. here, right?
Yeah.
And Liverpool was a noon, I think. So Liverpool was a 7 a.m. for us. So my daughter's club team had a town hall at 11 a.m. So, and I needed to drive 30 minutes to get there. So I started watching the Arsenal game, and then I listened to the rest of the first half while I was driving. And then I caught the second half at night when I got back home. Because I got back and, Villa and West Ham were playing, so I watched that. Yeah, but that's actually a great segue to what I did all week. So all week for me, I was driving my daughter back and forth to 2-a-day tryouts for school team, potential school team, because she's starting high school. So literally Monday through Friday, most days, Monday through Wednesday was morning and evening sessions. 2 to 2.5 in the morning, 2 to 2.5 at night. Places 45 to an hour away. So we go, I work from my car, I'm watching them from my car, and then we drive back, and then we go back after 3 hours. And that was my entire week, juggling meetings and all that. But she survived the first cut. They have 3 teams. She made one of the so-called junior varsity teams. She made the top one, so that's good. And it's insane because everyone has to try out, including the girls that have played there for 4 years, the seniors, or 3 years. They had to try out. Everyone has to do the timed run. If you didn't make your timed run, and you played last year, and for the last 3 years, you came back and you ran the time again until you made it.
But that's how it should be, Aki.
I know, but
That's
it's
how it
different
should
when it's your
be.
own daughter, right? It's different when it's your own daughter, right? And you're the parents understand that you're
Woo.
falling apart, and
I'm happy. I'm happy she made it. Yeah, that's
yeah,
good.
me too. Yeah,
That's
so
good.
it's happy times at the house, and then of course we still have to do the club team, which is what the meeting yesterday was for. So she's gonna play both, but the club will kind of give way. The school season is really short, so it's like they start immediately in August, and then by end of October it's over, and then the club will let you just pop in and out of training until end of October. And
Yeah.
then the club season will now start in earnest. So it's a little too much, but this is what she wants to do. So we'll support her.
Yeah,
You know.
we will. We will. That's good. That's
Uh,
very good. Happy to hear that. Happy to hear
thank
that.
you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right,
So, what do we
Inka.
have today?
Ooh, what don't we have, Inka? What don't we have? All right, so we're gonna do a quick review of. We always do the top 5 leagues. One of the top 5 hasn't really started, but we'll talk about. This is the Bundesliga. They haven't started, but there were some
Yeah.
cup games. So we'll talk about that. We'll see what the high-profile teams did against the Minos. We don't have questions this week. There's too much going on, so we'll skip that. Yinka and I will give you our top 6 predictions for. Is it all of the top 5 leagues? Should we go that deep? Ooh,
So is it? Is
this
it
is
top
gonna be
6 or?
crazy.
I thought it was top 4 and top 5.
We could do top 4. We could do top 4 out of the top 5. Yeah, we could do top 4 out of the
top
top
4 and top
5.
5. Yeah.
All right. And then we'll do. I liked how we did the worthy mentions last week when we were running out of time and we did the rapid fire. So we'll try to do rapid-ish fire. We have a bunch of things. We'll try to do that. All right. So why don't we start with it? There was a European Super Cup. I don't think this thing should exist, Yinka. The winner of the Europa versus the winner of the Champions League. So Atalanta of Italy versus Real Madrid of Spain. They played. I don't watch meaningless games, Yinka, so I did not watch it. So why don't you tell the people what happened?
So before we talk about the meaningless games, let's talk about the jerseys we're wearing, right?
Oh,
so
yes. You get us started.
I see. No. You go ahead. I see you've launched.
Oh Lord. Yes.
The Arsenal. This is this year's Arsenal jersey, isn't it?
This is the home Arsenal.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. I like the blue trim situation going on. It's over here as well.
Yeah.
Yinka helped me get this one. It's not customized. I don't have any numbers on the back. But I like it. I like it a lot. And
fantastic.
We'll talk about what Arsenal did in this jersey yesterday. We'll talk about that later.
Have you seen the Arsenal third kit?
I have it. It was part of the package that came last week.
Okay.
It's tight, but I'm gonna wear it. I'm gonna wear it next week.
I'm horrible with colors, but it's not the black everything you wore last week.
No, it has blue.
Exactly.
It has purple. It has everything.
Purple. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Because that's what the girls wore this afternoon in their game against Washington.
Beautiful.
That's a beautiful jersey, and I'm gonna get mine. I will definitely get mine. Anyway, so
I'm gonna wear the tight one next week.
So as usual, I'm going Nigeria today. This is. I'm not sure if you guys can see this properly. This is Remo Stars jersey.
Okay, tell the people where Remo is.
Remo is in Ondo State. Is it Ikene Ekiti? I can't even. I keep mixing them up.
Ikene will be Ogun State.
Ikene will be Ogun State. Sorry.
Get your geography right, bro.
You are the one that loved geography. I hated geography in school. Remember one guy that came in that taught us geography after our favorite teacher.
Yeah.
You remember?
I do remember.
We're not gonna call names for me. We're not gonna call names.
We're not gonna call names.
Messed up geography for me big time. Anyway,
especially map reading.
Map reading. Map reading.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so this is Remo Stars. They actually played a qualifier for the African Champions League earlier on this evening. The first leg they won 2-1. So
That's awesome.
I'm wearing this in to kind of celebrate them.
Okay. All right.
So
When do I get mine?
That is the constant question from you these days. When do I get mine?
Yes.
When do
When
I
do I
get
get
mine?
mine?
So this was a gift from someone. So I didn't buy this. Yeah.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Yeah, so it was someone gave me this as a gift. And I can't go and ask the person and say, where's Akin's gift also?
Where's Akin's well, next time when someone gives you something, you'll be like, you never complete.
You never complete. It'll be one more. But I now have a stash of Nigerian jerseys, local league jerseys.
Nice.
I think I have a Yimba. I've won a Yimba. I've won Memo. I've won.
That's good. That's good. Abri Sports, obviously.
Inter Lagos, Abri Sports.
Inter Lagos, yeah.
I have a Kwara United, but it's not a nice jersey. I don't really like it. Maybe that's what I'll wear next week. Anyway, enough of our jersey checks. So let's get back to business. I kind of watched the Real Madrid Atlanta game. I wasn't really, just like you. I think it's kind of a waste of time. The only reason why I watched it was because I wanted to see what Mbappe and Vini would look like.
Absolutely.
So Mbappe scored the second goal. First goal was scored by the Uruguayan Valverde. Mbappe's goal was a perfect combination between himself and Jude Bellingham, and it was a decent goal. But what I gathered from that game was both teams looked like in preseason form, right? Atlanta were missing one of their key midfielders, whose Juventus wants to pay like £50 million for, which in my opinion is too much money. But hey, I'm not the one paying. Cup Miners, the Dutch guy, the left-legged Dutch guy, he didn't play. So it felt like a preseason game. It wasn't that serious. Atlanta probably they also didn't give it their all, but they held their own against Real Madrid. It looked to me like it was, when you WWE wrestling in those days when we were younger, when you have tag teams, right? Where you tag someone, they'll come in, punch, tag again, go out. That's what it felt like between Vini Jr. and and Mbappe. And the same thing I noticed on Thursday or Wednesday, whenever day they played, is the same thing we noticed this evening because Real Madrid played this evening, right? It was like the two of them were taking turns to show who is the big boy, who is in charge, who wants to make things happen. And I'm like, y'all need to learn to play together. Bellingham was matured enough in that game and in this evening's game to be like, I'll take the back seat. I just want us to win. He was more or less playing with the rest of the team. Vini and Mbappe were literally doing almost the same thing. Against Atlanta and today against Mallorca. Yeah? But that was it. I think there was nothing more to that game. It felt like a friendly game, overhyped friendly game to me. That was it. So
they do it
you
for
didn't
the
miss
money.
Much by not. You didn't miss much by not watching it.
They do it. They do it for the money. Okay, Inka, we have a lot to get into on the games that actually matter. So I want us to do the EPL last. So let us start with the French league.
Yes, sir.
So I watched. Okay, so unlike you, I don't have 7 screens. So what I do is, I find what is interesting to me, I watch it, or what I'm able to watch, and then I do extended highlights for a bunch of games. ESPN has this cool thing on YouTube, like 7 to 10 minute recaps of games. So you see most of what happened. One of the most fascinating games this weekend to me was the PSG game, right? Because so it was 1-1. It was Le Havre, I think. Yeah, it was Le Havre.
Yeah, Le Havre.
Le Havre versus PSG, and PSG was on the road. PSG was away. I think PSG has a chance to really do something special. Unfortunately, Dembele is also on their team, so they have to overcome him. You know,
what a pity,
what a pity,
Dembele.
what a pity, Dembele. You know, but Le Havre had a chance to go up 2-0. They actually did go up 2-0, but there was a handball, so it was rightfully called back. And then within a space of 10 minutes, PSG scored like 3 goals. So yeah, they could have stumbled out of the gate. So he ended up being 4-1 PSG. So we'll do our predictions later. But did anything else happen in France that caught your interest? I know one that you're going to talk about, the Marseille game. So why don't you talk about that?
The Marseille game. But let me preface that by saying I'm happy for Mason Greenwood.
Okay.
I'm not supporting DV or anything, right?
Yeah.
But I also believe when people are young and they make mistakes, they deserve second chances. Yeah. The people in England were quick to bury him. Yeah. When I thought they could have helped him, right? Unless this was a constant thing and he was, you gave him a chance, he messed up again, then I get that. You have every right to cancel him. But for a young guy who allegedly, because it wasn't even confirmed at the end of the day, who allegedly had issues with his girlfriend or wife, I can't even know. Yeah, whichever.
I think it was a girlfriend.
Right?
Yeah.
It was the girlfriend. I thought England was a bit too harsh on him. And, when he went to Getafe, he struggled. Was it Getafe he went to? I think it was Getafe. Spain.
Yeah, I'm not
struggled.
Sure. Somewhere in Spain
but
he went to.
Yeah. But now he's in Marseille. And in his first game for Marseille, he scored 2 beautiful goals. He had the chance. He actually had the chance to make it a hat trick, because there was a penalty that he actually won the penalty. But sign of maturity, he gave the penalty to Marseille's new signing. Weil, or what's the guy's name? I can't remember the guy's name. And then the guy scored his first goal, and Marseille won 5-1 or so, thereabout. But Mason Greenwood looked the part. He looked the part. He's better than Sancho, based on what I saw and based on what I've looked at in the past. Right?
Why are you comparing them? Stop it. Why are you comparing them? You leave Sancho alone. Let that man live.
I should leave Sancho alone. Okay, I hear you. But yeah, I'm happy for Mason Greenwood. The only club right now that I believe might have what it takes to challenge PSG is actually Marseille. De Zerbi is not a fantastic coach, but in that league, he's arguably, he's top tier. If you look at the other coaches that you have, Marseille's done good business. Getting Greenwood, apologies if I'm murdering this guy's name, but he's a young guy from, he played in the Champions League last season against the club that played against Arsenal. I can't remember their name also.
Lens. Club in France? Okay.
Yeah, Lens. Yeah. So he played Lens last year, but he's moved to Marseille now. They bought him instead of Edin Ketia. That's who they
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the De Zerbi, the team that they had before, they might be the ones that can challenge PSG. But at the same time, PSG's main opponent is PSG themselves. Okay, let me rephrase that. PSG's main opponent is their coach, Luis Enrique, because he's stubborn.
It's crazy.
He's stubborn, he's crazy, he does all sort of stuff, right? But I believe they have too much talent, too much firepower, and probably if they get, what's his name, Osimhen, I don't know what's happening with Osimhen. We'll talk about him later on. I mean, it's case closed in France, but that's the other game I wanted to talk about.
All right, let's move. We have to move quickly, so let's move away from France. We're gonna go to Italy next. Why don't you just tell us very, very quickly what happened in Italy this week?
Italy's opener.
What interests you? Yeah,
it was a madhouse. Let me just put it that way, right? Inter drew 2-2. They were leading 2-0 or so. Who were they playing again? I can't remember, but they were leading 2-0. It was Thuram that got both goals, and these guys equalized. I'm actually trying to get the names of the teams. But anyway, then fast forward to the
Inter
evening.
were playing Genoa. That's
Inter
who they were
Genoa.
playing.
Then in the evening, it was Torino Milan. Yeah, Torino Milan, same thing. Torino 2-0 ahead of Milan, and in injury time, Milan scored 2 goals, and it ended the 2-2. And I was like, wow, these opening games are crazy. What's happening in Serie A? Then today, Napoli were walloped. They were thrashed by Verona 3-0. And this is Napoli with their full strength. Well, Osimhen didn't play, but we already knew it wasn't going to be part of the team. So Verona beat them 3-0. And I'm wondering, so what exactly who's going to be, this first week is not proven to, there's nobody that is saying, in this first week, I have my hands on the title, I'm pushing forward, right? Everybody seems to be, they're filling themselves out. Juventus play tomorrow against Sex Fabregas team, Como, tomorrow, Monday evening. And that's an exciting game. If we don't know, Cesc Fabregas took the Como team. He is a shareholder and is also the coach. He's taking the team from from Serie B to Serie A, and he has attracted some, big name signing. One of them is former Manchester United, Real Madrid, Rafael Varane. But unfortunately, Varane got injured in one of the
You
friendlies.
Don't say. Varane got injured? I'm shocked.
He got injured and is out for a couple of days.
Of course he is. Oh my gosh.
Roma also drew today. Not surprised. But Lazio gave a good account of themselves. Lazio won 3-1. Despite the fact that, their main striker is no longer with them. What's his name again? The guy that went to Turkish League. I'm forgetting names this season.
You're doing me now because I used to forget names. And now you're doing me.
Ciro Immobile is gone to Turkey. But
he had a good run.
Yeah, he had a good run. So Lazio are the only ones that won. Every other person is just, as I say, they're pissing around. So let's see what Juventus do tomorrow evening. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take Germany real quick. The league hasn't started, but there's the DFB Pokal, FA Cup type that was happening. I watched Bayern because I wanted to see how my guy Vincent Kompany would do in his debut. Pretty well, thank you very much, I would say. So one thing that stood out for me, that they played I think it was a lower league team, or something like that, ULM. They won 4-0. Harry Kane came in later. He's still recovering from not winning the Euros. And scored a nice header, nice assist from Thomas Muller, who just put it on his noggin. It was beautiful.
Will that guy ever retire?
It would never, and that's who I want to talk about real quick, Kinka. So I'm thinking, one, this is lower league competition. This is the first round or at least the first round that Bayern is playing of the DFB. Is this political from Kompany starting Thomas Müller in the number 9 position as a false 9? You know what I mean? So one, he gave him a start and then he played him through the middle. Is he trying to win him over, win the dressing room over? I thought that was the first thing I thought about when I saw the lineup, and I'm like, there's something here, right? And then he played Musiala right behind him, and then he played Gnabry on the right and some other guy on the left. I forget the guy's name. They made some changes, obviously. Future Arsenal player, French guy came in. What's his name? Kingsley Coman. He came in. Yeah, he came in later. He had a few nice touches. Like I said, Harry Kane came in and scored. So they won. Dortmund, I think Dortmund was like 4-1. Brandt looked really good. He scored a really beautiful goal. But the crazy thing is the team they were playing were in the 4th tier of of German football. I think there was a Nigerian sounding name on there, maybe two. And
which
guy,
club doesn't have a Nigerian in it?
This is true, right? This is true. So the one that they pulled back was a beautiful goal, and then they hit either the upright or the crossbar 3 times.
Whoa!
3 times, Yinka. So it could easily have been 4-4. You know, even though Dortmund did all the playing, Adeyemi started up front. He started in the false 9 position. So yeah, I'm just looking at. We get a chance to see, these top teams in a semi-serious formation early on before the league actually starts. So it will be interesting to see how it goes. I didn't watch Leverkusen though, so I can't tell you how they did because I didn't.
I think they had a more serious game.
Oh, they don't. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes it's the luck of the draw. Let me see.
Yeah. They had, and I think was it Stuttgart or Werder Bremen?
You're right. Penalties. 2-2, and then they went into. No. That's the finals. So what am I talking about? No. That's
Boniface.
Not. Who did they play?
Scored. Boniface scored.
That's the Super. No, that's the Super Cup, Yinka. That's the DFL Super Cup.
That was the Super Cup.
That's the Super Cup. Yeah.
I got it mixed up.
They don't play their first round until August 28th. So
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're right. They drew with Stuttgart and then they won on penalties. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So
we'll talk about them later on. So let's move on.
So shall we leave Germany? All right. So we're doing good. We've done 3 leagues. Or have we done? Yeah, we've done 3 leagues. All right. So let's go to. We've done Spain, right? Have we done Spain?
No, we
just kind of talked about them. All right. So I saw Barca Valencia.
Mm-hmm.
How do I say this? Lewandowski. I wish Barca had Lewandowski 5 years ago. Lewandowski of today, like it's like the spirit is willing but the body is weak, kind of thing. That's
but he's still doing the bit.
Yeah. No, it's good if his competition is like an average striker. If his competition is his old self, then he looks old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looks old. But they won. They came back and won. I have some thoughts on Valencia when we get to top 4. We'll talk about that. I didn't think they looked terrible. I think Hansi Flick is a little more direct than what we've seen from Xavi. So I thought that was interesting. It's obvious he has the trust of the team. It's obvious that he watched the Euros and he's like, oh, this is how Spain plays now. Maybe we should do less tiki-taka and just more playing to win the game, So yeah, so I thought that was interesting. Anything else catch your attention? Go on.
I was kind of surprised with his lineup though, right? So he started Lamine Yamal, Ferran Torres, and Rafinha, right?
Yeah.
And he had 2 young boys in midfield, Bernal and. No, Pedri actually came in. Pedri didn't start.
He came in he didn't start.
Yeah.
So who started?
It was Bernal and Casado also.
Casano.
2 young boys.
Casano, yeah.
In midfield. And I looked at the team, I was like, interesting. Can you imagine game 1 away to a tough team like Valencia? And Hansi Flick was brave enough to put players like Pedri on the bench.
Yeah.
Right? And I then looked at his bench, because let me even open it here. I then looked at this bench and I'm like, this guy doesn't really have any known player on the bench. So I then begin to wonder what's going on with Barca in general. Is it that Gundogan, for example, I'm hearing noise that he wants to leave. So I'm
Where
like,
does he
if
want to go?
Gundogan leaves, De Jong is injured.
Always.
What's happening to you? It's like they look thin. It's like their squad looks thin. Or are they just waking up and deciding we want to go youth all the way with one old man in front? Which I don't have a problem with. Yeah, but it's just unlike Barcelona. If you get what I mean. Yeah. I was a bit taken aback by that. But
let me just say, Yinka, all of that is reflected in my top 4. Go ahead.
Okay, fantastic. Anyway, a particular game I want to mention, the first game of the season itself, the
The
Atletico
Hetafe,
Bilbao
Bilbao and
Getafe game.
Hetafe, yeah.
One unknown Nigerian scored for Getafe.
Okay.
Akin said 2 years ago the guy was playing amateur football in Enugu. 2 years ago, so he got to deal with a fifth division team in Spain. Then last season he moved to a second division team in Spain, and Getafe picked him up this season to start this season.
Yeah.
The young man is actually a defensive midfielder. Getafe had injury issues and they decided to play him up front. I can watch the game. He was arguably their best player. If not
That's
even
amazing.
arguably, he was their best player. Right?
That's amazing.
And before the goal, he was the only one that looked like scoring. Right?
That's amazing.
And you could see that this is an unpolished footballer. He was just big, strong, busting with energy, passion, and the rest of it. His name is Chrysanthus Uche. So good luck to him. I like this kind of success stories. Yeah. So I just
the last time we had a Chrysanthus, he didn't do much with his career. But
because he was already 45 when he played under 17.
Ouch!
He was already collecting pension when he was playing under 17. Get off it.
Oh my gosh.
The other game worthy of mention is the game that happened this evening. You might have missed it because you were on the road.
Yes, I was.
Mallorca Madrid ended 1-1.
Oh my god.
See, Mallorca should have won that game. Madrid scored first. Yeah. Rodrigo scored. But frankly, Mallorca should have won. They had better chances. Vini gave Rodrigo the assist, which was good. But like I said, it was a repeat episode of the Super Cup. I thought Vini and Mbappe had a mini competition within that game, trying to outshine each other instead of playing with each other and playing with the rest of the team. And Mbappe loves drifting a lot to the left. That happened a lot in this game. It did. Mbappe had chances. Vini had chances. Mallorca keeper made some fantastic saves. But something needs to happen there. Mbappe needs to realize, and this is on Mbappe, it's not on Vini. I'm going to say this. Mbappe needs to realize that his whole history or his whole story, right, is going to change significantly if this Madrid experiment does not work out. Right? I know it's early days, right?
I hear that.
But I expected him to, the two games I've watched so far, I expected him to, maybe humble himself a bit. Yeah?
No, that's not possible, sir.
And play within the team. In as much as, what's his name? Bellingham hit the ground running last season. It wasn't about Bellingham. He was still playing within the team, if you get what I mean. Yeah?
No, I know.
But the two games I've watched so far, and maybe I'm just being harsh on him.
You're being a grumpy old man. That's what you're being.
Nah, it felt like Vini will get the ball, dribble, hit the brick wall, go back, pass. Mbappe will get the ball, dribble, hit the brick wall. Y'all need to play together. Y'all need to, work out 1-2s and the rest of it. And it has to be intentional. You need to succeed within the team. It doesn't make any sense if you score 40 goals, right, and probably just get 5 assists and Real Madrid doesn't win anything, right? The hammer is going to come on Mbappe because they will say you are the new person here because you were not here last season. We won X, we won Y, we won Z. Now you're here, we didn't win. We don't care whether you score 30 goals or you score 40 goals. You seem to have messed up the dynamics within this team. Yeah? And looking at it from a coaching standpoint also, I keep telling you, icing cake players, right? Vini is it affects the team if you have two Vinis or two Mbappes. And the two of them, they're very similar. it hurts the dynamics of the team. Somebody needs to, you need to play within the team rather than. But anyway, I'm sure next week they'll shock me up. Two of them might even score hat-tricks next week. But we'll see how it goes.
So I think the difference. So this is what you're really saying is the issue PSG had when they had, Neymar and Messi and Mbappe, and none of them wanted to track back. None of them wanted to do the defensive work. One of them couldn't run, Messi, anymore. One of them didn't want to run, Neymar. And Mbappe just wanted to run everywhere but through the middle. That didn't work out. They won leagues, but, I don't think the rich people who own the club made all that investment just to win the French league. The ultimate result was the Champions League they were looking for, and that didn't work out for them. So, and it was joyless. It was a joyless brand of football that no one really loved. But I would say the difference here is they have one of the best coaches in the world, maybe the best, Carlo Ancelotti, and he's a great manager, people manager.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
we'll see.
We'll see, right? Mbappe is a better player than Joselu, and they won the league with Joselu last time out. And going back to that, your PSG point, very good point. But if you even notice, Messi and Neymar were matured enough to say, you know what, Mbappe, take the limelight.
Yeah,
absolutely. Do you understand? Which is something that needs to happen. Within these two games, Bellingham, for me, seems to have taken that position to be like, you know what? I'm just going to play within the team, let things work out. Yeah. But Vini and Mbappe, I hope they can work themselves out. Yeah. And, play well together and deliver for Madrid. I hope so.
Do you think Vini will go make 300 million a year in Saudi? As the rumors.
Don't let's jump the gun. When we get there, we'll talk about it. We have that on our agenda. We'll talk about
it. We'll talk about it. Okay. So I think we're done with Spain. Let's go to England real quick. So the first game of the season was on Friday. And it was Man United versus Ipswich Town. So welcome back Ipswich Town to the big time.
No, versus Fulham. Right? Fulham.
Wait. Who played Ipswich? Sorry. That's Liverpool.
It was Liverpool
played.
Yeah.
Sorry, my bad. And that was early Saturday morning for me.
Yeah.
Friday night for me, or Friday afternoon for me was Fulham Man U. Man U was home, right? Man U was home. Okay, Man U was home. Yes.
Yeah.
So Yinka, I think I've sung the praises of Joshua Zirkzee on here a few times.
Yeah.
Again, I'll remind people again, for me, when you're a young striker, I don't really look at how many goals you're scoring. If you're able to figure out goal scoring early, good for you. Hopefully you can sustain it. You're better off scoring goals as a striker than not scoring goals. What I think is a better measurement, in my opinion, or predictor of future success is how you move, how you interpret the game, how you play with others. And what was impressive to me about this guy before he came to Man U was how, you told me how big it was. Because, when I saw him play, I'm like, oh, is this 6'1", 6'2"? You're like, no, it's 6'4". He moves like he's not 6'4". He moves with purpose. He moves, he can play the ball to his feet. He can do a lot of different things. And the fact that he only played a few minutes at the Euros, again, I just keep going back to your evaluation of Koeman, Ronald Koeman. Like, he doesn't know what he's doing as a coach.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
I say all that to say, Man U were out there just floundering. Fulham didn't really look good, but they didn't have to look good because Man U really had no threat. And then this gentleman came in, and that movement resulted in that goal. And his quick thinking, he just stopped the ball. He stabbed it into the net. You know, so I was just overall very impressed with him. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree with you on Zexi. Maybe I'm not as high on him as you are, but yeah, he's
Mm,
a good footballer. I probably should have
yeah,
gotten more minutes at the Euros. But mind you, kind of got away with, you know, if
they did.
Fulham had been more clinical in the third or more decisive in the third, it would have been it would have been a loss for Man U, a home loss for Man U.
I think Fulham of last season would have beaten Man U.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think so.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think so. Smith Rowe was, yeah, he had didn't have a good outing.
yeah, yeah.
Iwobi was overdoing stuff, right?
Yeah,
And generally,
too
Fulham,
much on his plate. Too much.
exactly. And generally, Fulham just looked like they didn't have a preseason, you know,
They
missed,
miss
missed.
Paulinia. That's what it is. They miss Paulinia. Like I mean,
Yeah.
he was their best player. I mean, let's
Mm-hmm.
just call it what it is. Was
Yeah.
their best player last season. They miss him. I saw the Mexican striker with the head injury. I saw him come in
Yeah.
later on.
Jimenez. Yeah.
Yeah, Jimenez came in. You know that when did that move happen? Do you know?
He's been there for a while. He was
A
there
while
last
now.
season at the minimum. Yeah.
Was
He
it? Was
was
it?
there last
Okay.
season.
Because I know
He was there
it
last
was a
season.
Wolves player, right? It was a Wolves player.
It was
Many months ago.
it was at
Okay.
Wolves, and he moved to
Okay.
Fulham.
I think since that head injury hasn't been good. So again, that's for me. He's not a threat. They need a real striker. You know, they should. Crystal Palace shouldn't have better strikers than Fulham. I guess is what I'm saying. You know, you can argue Crystal Palace has two strikers that are better than anyone at Fulham. So they were not a threat at all. It was quite
Yeah.
disappointing.
One quick one before we move on from that game. Rashford was very poor.
It was very poor.
Diallo was very poor. Aguero got injured. No surprises. De Ligt is back with. I mean, he's with them now, so
Yeah.
they should be okay. But I thought the new signing from Bayern, Mazrui was their man of the
Yeah,
match in my
he played
opinion.
left back. It was
Yeah.
really good.
He was really, really, really good.
Yeah, it
So
was
for the
really good.
first time in a long time, United, right? They've had a decent window,
Yeah.
right? They might have overspent here and there, but you can see the reason, you can see the
It was
talent,
okay.
and you can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a plan. There's a
So
plan.
yeah. So we give that to Ineos, because I believe this is Ineos. Let's hope Ten Hag does not mess things up. Yeah.
I have something to say about Ten Hag later for when we have our predictions. All right.
Interesting.
So and then we move on to Saturday, and we've already kind of talked about Liverpool. Now Liverpool went to Ipswich. Ipswich, welcome back to the top flight.
Yeah.
Yinka, I think Ipswich are gonna be my Burnley of last year. Only without a suicide mission, right? Because I think they're gonna win many games. I think they're gonna that one. I'm gonna make a wild prediction right now. They're not gonna go down. They were really good, Yinka. They were really good for a championship squad. They were really good. They were disciplined. They were well drilled. They were well coached. Everyone is high on their coach, and now I see why. They, what's amazing to me is they came up 2 promotions, right? So they've been top, top of League One, top of the championship, but they quickly switched it up and they played with grit, knowing they're not going to be top against Liverpool. And that's something Burnley never figured out last year. Like, hey, you're not going to outplay Liverpool. What are you doing? Anyway, Liverpool broke them eventually because Salah is just amazing. But there's not very many Salahs in the league. So I think they're going to be fine. I think they're going to be a tough out. They're going to be more like, what was the other team last season that ended up going down? That just amazed me every time they played.
Luton?
Yes. They're going to be like Luton with better players, if that makes sense. And I think they have better resources. They should have better resources. They're a bigger club than Luton, right?
Yeah.
And Luton had a good coach as well. They remind me a little bit of that. Like they can play a little bit, but they also have some grit. But they won't go like for hell. They won't go hell for leather like Luton was going, and that was what got them relegated. All right.
Now,
you have any thoughts on Liverpool? Yeah.
No, I have thoughts on Ipswich. The league did them bad. Actually, you can't.
Oh yeah, they're playing City. They're playing City next.
They're playing City next. Come on, man.
Because
you can't do that to them.
You got if Man U or Arsenal started the season with Liverpool and City, oh my God, everybody would say it was rigged.
Everybody will say it was rigged. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
But
I think that's not fair to them. Right.
It's not.
But it's up to them. They gave a good account of themselves against Liverpool. I was quite impressed with them. Ex-Arsenal boy Omari Hutchinson.
He was good. I was so upset when he left and went to Chelsea. I was so upset. I didn't like that at all. But it looks good. He was good. It looks grown.
Yeah. Even Delap, former City boy that they also got that played up front. Two of them really, really played well. But see, this can help them. So they can get the beating out of their system, right? Yeah. I mean, and it's better you catch Liverpool and City in the early days rather than when they are banking form and they'll put 7 or 6
That's fair. That's fair.
But Ipswich, good team. I like them. I think they'll be fine. Yeah. Which other game do you want to talk about? Because I have a couple I want to talk about.
Before we leave this one, Darwin Núñez did not get up the bench, and he didn't look happy on the bench. That's something we need to watch going forward. Jota played up front. Missed, in my opinion, a header he should have scored. For him, that's a sitter. Missed it. But Núñez did not look happy on the bench, and Diaz didn't look good. He didn't play well. So they need to figure out that whole frontline situation. Maybe it doesn't matter because Salah is playing well. So
Yeah. And Núñez should not worry. Jota's injury record is, well, I don't like wishing injury on people, but Jota is going to jump one day to knock the ball, and they will tell you is tweaked his muscles or something. Yeah. So Núñez will get game time, and there are plenty games to play. Yeah. So he'll be fine. So which other game do you want to talk about?
I mean, there was a little, incident of an Arsenal game that happened, but we don't really have to talk about it. Of course I'm going to talk about it. Are you crazy? Oh my gosh. I was so happy. So Bukayo Saka is a world-class player. That's it.
Oh, you've gotten there now.
Yes, I've gotten there now. Because look, my thing is, look, I don't want to overhype the kid because in my mind, Saka is my son. Is all of our son. I protect him. I don't want anyone coming at the kid. But I know he didn't have a preseason. Rice didn't have a preseason. He comes in, they quickly start fouling him like they always do. And then that pass, that cross pass, whatever you want to call it, to Havertz, that was not easy. I mean, what's the name of the former Spurs player and manager that does punditry? It was on one of the shows in the UK. Thank you. Sherwood was gushing. It was literally gushing. Like, if you've never played before, you think that's easy. It's like, that is not easy. That was an amazing pass. Like, it's just a man for the moment, right? And then just as Wolves they're kind of getting on top of Arsenal. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Like they were on top. Saliba was making uncharacteristic errors, passing the ball across the goal mouth and all that. He just, you see how he took his goal? Like, it did the thing where, one, quick thinking, we took a quick free kick. That was very smart thinking. If the Wolves defender had been thinking, he would have stood in front of the ball.
Yeah.
He didn't, right? So he allowed Arsenal to take it. Havertz passes the ball to Saka. Saka cuts in, is a right-footed, is a left-footed right winger. He cuts onto his left. Everybody was expecting him to curl it into the keeper's right side.
Yeah.
Your boy, Jose Sa, who I told you is not a great goalkeeper, was favoring his right side, thinking that's obviously where the shot is coming. This kid, this man, this grown man, this world-class player puts it in the near post on the keeper's left. I mean, come on, man. That's just so, and it just having almost a sense for the dramatic, almost a sense of the moment. So I told you after I saw him in the last preseason game, I'm like, he's taking it to another level. I think he's a grown man now, and I think he's gonna be amazing this season. Odegaard as well, but really,
I'll cut this, clip this, or clip it, cut it, whatever, and I'll archive it for the day when you come back and you tell me whatever it is you want to tell me about Arsenal and Saka, right?
Never. I never say anything negative about the kid because he never does anything negative. That's just amazing.
You didn't believe him to be world class before,
because
right?
I don't like pumping people up when they're not ready. Because again,
so are you sure you're not pumping him up? You've not.
No.
I've not seen enough.
Okay,
right?
and that's okay. You know what I've seen? I saw the Euros when everybody and their coach, was dumping on him. And I saw the maturity with which he handled all that. I mean, even Ian Wright was saying he should go play fullback. I'm like, what is this? Why are you even experimenting with this? And then I told you the way he came back from preseason, he really wants to put this behind him. He wants to do something. And for me, this is what world-class players do. I've never seen him do what he just did. When you're not at your best, when your knee's hurting, instead of you to just sit on the pitch and sulk, you go out and get a goal. You go out and get an assist. That's what Salah does. For me, that's what I'm used to seeing. Salah scored a goal on opening day for the 9th season in a row.
Yep.
The 9th season in a row, Yinka. Come on, man. And then speaking of a sense of the dramatic. So Arsenal had a well-observed, moment of, I think it wasn't a moment of silence. It was a moment of applause, of celebration, for Kevin Campbell. Kevin Campbell, who passed a couple months ago, he was an Arsenal striker, Arsenal and Everton. He scored 59 times for Arsenal. Saka's goal was his 59th goal. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe I say I don't want to gush, and now I'm gushing, but it's just that sense of the dramatic, right? I think it's taking the lead, but we'll see. But I think it's taking the lead.
So for me, once again, I'm going to be the objective one here. It's early days. It's just one game, right? I need to see this, right? More. I need to see this almost in every game. Yeah?
You will.
Remember, I keep saying this. You need to vary your options. That is when you really become unstoppable. If everybody knows this is what your goal is going to do, they will, they'll figure you out, right? So him cutting in and taking the near post instead of the far post is something unusual. So next time, all goalkeepers now will be confused. If I edge towards this side, he can put it here. This is that variability that leads to you being unstoppable.
Absolutely.
If you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, which is what the young man used to do, right? You need to, and he had 2 shots on his right leg. Okay, I'm not sure if you noticed this. He had 2 shots on his right leg in the game. He had a header that was close to scoring, just like he had in the preseason also.
He had 3 headers in the preseason. Yeah,
in the preseason. So these are the things that you need to add to your game. Yeah. You can't just be a one-trick pony. People will figure you out easily.
You can be a one-trick pony, but that trick has to be unstoppable.
It has to be unstoppable.
It has to be. Robin was unstoppable.
Exactly. Robin was unstoppable. But what even made Robin unstoppable also was simple. Robin got into the mind of the defenders because the first time Robin will do something, right? He might take you to the byline. Then the next time he'll change his mind, fake as if he's going to the byline, cut in, bang, bend it, it's going in.
Sometimes he'll start from midfield. Sometimes he'll start from the byline. So
exactly.
And he had speed. He had crazy speed. He ran like a crazy person, like a beheaded chicken or whatever. And you still couldn't catch him.
And you still couldn't catch him, right? So that is my take on Saka.
Okay.
Is he world class yet? Based on your definition of world class, I would say not yet. But based on my definition of world class, of course, I always thought he was world class, right?
You always thought. So maybe
Yeah.
I'm now where you are. Again, Salah to me is the most unbelievable right winger in world football right now, right?
Yeah.
And what I saw this game against Wolves was Salah level. Again, can you do it every game? Because Salah does it every game. You can. How do you score on opening day 9 years in a row? That is crazy. Who does that? That's insane. That's 9 years of just amazing consistency. Like, I feel like we don't appreciate Mo Salah enough. You know?
I do. I totally agree with you.
We don't talk about it. We talk about Vini all the time. We talk about Mbappe all the time. What about Mo Salah? This is insane. Who does that?
I totally agree with you. And it's because, you know the reason. It's because he's African.
He's African.
He's not as celebrated as he should be.
He's not Brazilian.
Right? Exactly.
And Egypt hasn't been good under him. They were really good before he was, before he came into his prime.
Because right now, I can even say he's probably Liverpool's best player ever. But some people will look at me and be like, you can't say that.
I don't know. We're going to get into that whole eras and all that again. John Barnes is like, John Barnes walks on water.
No. You're saying John Barnes? What of, what's his name?
Kenny Dalglish.
Kenny Dalglish, Ian Rush. Right?
It's not Ian Rush. Ian Rush was a poacher finisher, so it's not him. No.
I'm saying in Liverpool folklore, if you go to the Liverpool people right now, they won't even put John Barnes is not at the Rush level, is not at the Kenny Dalglish level.
Yeah,
those two people, and even what's his name? This their defender, Swanson, or what's his name? I think it's Swanson, right? Those people are like demigods to the Scousers. They're like, wow.
Yeah.
In fact, King Kenny is right now. Liverpool will tell you this is our greatest player ever, right? Even though, if you really break it down, how many years has Salah?
I know.
More than 9, obviously, because he's scored 9 seasons consecutively. And since day one, Akin, this guy has been unbelievable. Anyway, enough of Salah. I think that's a good topic to look into some other time, right?
It's just for me, it's and I think it's the first player to accomplish this, which is
he is.
EPL record 9 season opening goals. Come on.
He is.
This is crazy.
So his availability for somebody that runs the way he runs, somebody that plays the way he plays, the fact that he hardly gets injured is in itself a miracle. A miracle. Anyway, enough of Liverpool.
I know.
Let's quickly talk. There's some other things I want to
talk about your stuff. Yeah, talk about your stuff.
No. The Arsenal bit. There's some other things I wanted to touch on. Vinijr looks a lot more comfortable. I know it's just one game, right? But he looks a lot more comfortable. I don't know what. Maybe it's the fact that he's no longer on loan. He's not guaranteed. I don't know, whatever it is, right?
It's
that
possible.
One-handed save that he made.
It was unbelievable.
That save. That was what saved the game. Yeah,
unbelievable.
That was a super save. That's one. 2. Wolves need to give them a special applause. Wolves are a very, very good side. Very, very good side. Not too many teams come to the Emirates and knock Arsenal around. Forget that it's day one. They knocked Arsenal around in that match. Yeah? To be fair, they played very, very, very well. And their coach, I've always told you, I love the guy. He's a good coach.
He's a really good coach.
With limited resources, is punching way above his weight. Yeah?
Gary O'Neill.
That's number 2. Yeah. That's number 2. Number 3. I'm going to talk about the refs here now. I have to do this. I have to do this. Yeah?
They outdid themselves this.
It's week 1. I'm seeing new faces, but they all look like clones to me. If you watch
No.
Star Wars, you know what they call these troopers. All of them, it's one clone, one person that they clone for all the troopers. That's how the refs look like. They look like troopers to me. They all look like Michael Oliver clones or whoever. It's like they clone everybody.
They're
Is
not
a
new
white
faces.
guy.
You just weren't paying attention. They've been referees before. We know them. You know them. They're just terrible.
No. The Arsenal guy is not new. I get it.
It's not new.
Right?
Okay. All right. Okay.
But the other games are key. Go check it. I'll bring receipts next week. I'll bring receipts next week. And they all behave the same.
Yeah.
They behave the same. Right? The game today between Brentford and Crystal Palace.
Yeah.
Eberechi Eze scored arguably the goal of the season day one. A free kick from the right. He saw the keeper was off his line. He bent the ball into the net. The ref blew for something. I don't even know what it was. And VAR said we can't intervene because the ref's whistle went off before the ball hit the net. And I'm like, what kind of stupid...
Oh, God.
What nonsense is this? And you look at the foul. It was nothing. So I'll pass that. The Arsenal game. The ref in that Arsenal game. Were you the one that messaged me and said we're having what's the name of the ref? Someone on the ref and the VAR guy.
Stuart Atwell was on VAR. I'm like, it's a terrible ref, and now he's also a terrible VAR. Yeah.
The ref there were instances where, for example, he gave Saka a yellow card for kicking the ball after. And I'm like, dude, really? With all the tackles that you've been overlooking for the Wolves team, right? The Wolves guy literally choked Havertz on the floor. And they said nothing. No card, nothing. In fact, the free kick was against Kai Havertz, right? Yeah. Then you saw the other one that I sent to you. The other guy that was putting his fingers and someone's what are you doing?
He went and grabbed his bottom. Is the cleanest way we can.
It's the cleanest way we can put it.
Jesus got a yellow card for reacting.
Reacting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, these refs are at it again. Now there's a new rule they came up with. They've said that it has to be in the extreme cases. Please help me. I don't know what extreme means. But it says it's only in extreme cases that the VAR will overrule or even tell the on-field ref to come and check anything.
Yeah.
In extreme cases. And I'm like, oh, really? Let's just get rid of VAR. You know, I've said this before.
Yeah.
I've said
they can't do that. You can't put that genie back in the bottle.
For every judgmental decision, right? Don't use VAR. Use VAR for black and white decisions only, which is the ball crossed the line, was he offside? Every other thing that has to do with whether it's a foul, it's a penalty, if that's what you want to do, because you're just shifting, you're shifting the dial. And what you interpret as extreme to you, Aki, might not be the same thing as what is extreme to me. Unless we start treating this thing, it's still subjective. Unless we start treating it as law cases where we say, in the case of Mosquera against Havertz, he choked him. So unless we start doing that, extreme cases is just complete BS. Complete BS. But, you know, the only way you will know the Premiership has started is when I rant about refs, right?
About refs.
Because I miss football. I don't miss these refs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Their incompetence, day one, their incompetence is all over the place. Yeah. All over the place. I rest my case.
Okay. One thing we have to talk about, the game doesn't actually matter, but Chelsea versus City, you messaged that City captained Enzo Fernandez.
From Chelsea, rather.
Chelsea captain Enzo Fernandez. This was the man who was singing the racist songs against French players. His team is filled with French players. I think once you back out the Brits or the English players on the team, there's probably more French players than any other nationality. and they made him captain. What, he came back from the Copa and brought them cookies? I mean, I don't understand. What is this? What is this? What is Chelsea? What is Chelsea playing at, Yinka? What are we doing?
So the only good thing I see out of this is I thought it was only going to be non-Chelsea fans that would react. But apparently Chelsea fans are actually also angry with this decision.
Because
so I'm going to applaud them. I'm going to applaud them for the first time in a long time, right? It's just, see, Akin, in my line of work, they say you need to be independent, right? As an auditor. But you don't only have to be independent. You need to be seen to be independent. Optics matter.
Yeah.
Who in Chelsea, who handles their public relations at Chelsea? Who sanctioned this? If the coach had said, Maresca had said, I'm going to make him captain, somebody should call him from up above and say, dude, can you just chill with this? We can do this mid-season or next season, not now, right? Make someone else captain for now, and we'll fix this later. So that's what it should be.
It goes deeper than that for me. So I'm going to just say it with my entire chest and mouth, right? Maresca, if he's not a racist, straight up, has racist leanings. You know what I mean? Because, no, seriously, like, you should not be the manager of a team in England, okay, of multinational, multi-hued, okay, players, if your brain can't handle what's going down.
Yeah.
It's that simple. This is cultural incompetence, okay? And this is what happens when you over-promote these white boys. That's what it is. Is another over-promoted white boy. We've talked about this a million times. Because this is cultural incompetence. You know? Okay. All right. I'm just going to chill.
Anyway, so looking at Chelsea, once again, they played today. Their best player in preseason didn't even smell minutes, which is Noni Maduekwe. Cole Palmer, did he play any minutes in preseason? I don't think so. I don't think it did, because I asked on our group and someone was like, they don't think so also, right? So I'm surprised for someone that didn't play a minute in preseason. He played 90 minutes today. And he was more or less, he didn't play well, right?
Yeah.
Noni Maduekwe that was cheering the whole preseason up, right? Didn't even get a minute. Yeah. Now, I'm going to say this again. Based on the team that I saw today, Jorginho, Kai Havertz, and who was the third person that they got rid of? And Kovacic, who scored against them today.
Yeah.
Those three will walk into this team. In fact, they will crawl into this team. So you spent 1.2 billion pounds or thereabout.
More now.
Because they take steps backwards. Exactly. Now you have a squad that is massive and you're struggling to get rid of players. You're struggling to get rid of players. Anyway, I rest my case. Chelsea? Anyway, let's just move on. Any other worthy mention in the games that happened?
Just one. The Brentford game. Even Tony did not play. There's I mix up all my Saudi teams, but I think this one is Al Hilal. Al Hilal. Yeah.
No, Al Hilal.
So Al Hilal might be coming in for him, and I think this is the best thing for him. You know, all these Arsenal players thinking he's coming to Arsenal. I'm like, clearly you don't watch your own club. His style is very particular. Remember during the Euros, I said he's not getting off the bench before Ollie Watkins.
Yeah.
You know, he's not the most dynamic player. You know, his style is very particular. Very, very. You have to play like a Olivier Giroud type style, or around him, and that's not really what a lot of these modern coaches want to do. So he can go to Saudi where he's gonna bully people, and it's getting to a point now where he needs to get that big contract now, or it's now or never. He
Absolutely.
becomes Jamie Vardy. You know, I'm like, you don't want to
Absolutely.
become Jamie Vardy. I'm be stuck at Brentford. So good for him.
And
Let him go.
he can even get it for a year or two and come back and
come back.
promoted.
You know,
Come and play
Brentford will still
for
be
the next Ipswich or somebody. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
So it's a no-brainer. I think you should take up the deal. Anyway,
yeah. Yinka, we're gonna move on to predictions now, and this is how we're gonna structure this. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna go France, Italy, Germany, Spain, and EPL. Okay. Okay. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell our audience who the top 4 were last year. And then you're gonna give me your top 4, and then I'm gonna give you my top 4.
Fair enough. That works.
Okay, so let's start with France. So last year it was PSG, Monaco, Brest, and Lille. Okay, PSG, Monaco, Brest, and Lille. Give me your top 4 for France this year, Yinka.
So this year, PSG, Marseille, Monaco, and Lyon.
Okay, I'm writing it down so I don't have to find the video. Okay, so and mine. Oh my God, this is actually pretty close. So I have PSG, Monaco, Marseille, and Lyon.
Okay,
that's how I have it.
Close enough.
So I have PSG, Monaco, Marseille, and Lyon. Okay. So let's go to Italy. Last year we had Inter, AC Milan, Juventus, Atalanta. What say you?
So this year, I think it will be Inter, Juve, Milan, and
Stop
Lazio.
it. Oh, okay. We almost have the same thing. So I have Inter, Juve, Milan, and Napoli.
Okay. Napoli is a wild one. I thought you would have picked Atalanta.
You know why? Do you know why?
Why?
Because Antonio Conte is insane, but he can coach. And he can coach in Italy. Okay, that's number 1. And they're either going to keep Osimhen or they're going to swap him from Lukaku. And Lukaku with Conte is like, fat Ronaldo. You know what I'm saying? And then Lukaku without Conte is like me. It makes no sense. It's like 2 very different players.
But see, and this is my problem with Conte. The league hasn't even started. He's already throwing his players under the bus.
This is what he does.
But it's ridiculous.
It's crazy, but this is what he does.
He's already throwing the bus. The club is throwing everybody under the bus. I'm like, dude, when will you look in the mirror and realize I might also have a problem?
Never. It's Mourinho. It's Mourinho without the smooth talking, without the personality. Nobody actually likes it. People like Mourinho. Some crazy people like Mourinho. I don't.
But,
so
by now, a coach of his caliber should know players play for coaches. Players don't play for clubs. Just like in your organization, people work for people. People don't work for organizations, right? So you can't keep throwing people under the bus every single opportunity that you have. Who do you think you are? Anyway, you see, I don't like Conte. I don't like Allegri because I don't think Allegri is a good coach. Conte is a good coach, but he's
a really good coach. He's insane.
I don't want to say the word I want to use for him, but you get what I'm saying.
That's what it is. It's crazy. It's never his fault. It's never his fault.
Never his fault. Never his fault.
All right, so let's go to Germany. So last year we had Leverkusen, Stuttgart, Bayern, RB Leipzig. So who do you have this year? What's your top 4?
Bayern 1, Leverkusen 2, Leipzig 3.
Okay.
And Dortmund.
Wow. We almost have the same thing. All right. So let me tell you mine. I'm writing yours down, then I'll tell you mine. So I have Bayern, Leverkusen, Dortmund and Stuttgart. Actually, I don't have RB like Leipzig.
Yeah,
And
I think
for me, so Nuri Sahin got the Dortmund job.
yes, he did.
I cannot be objective about it. I loved him as a player, right?
Yep,
so I think
same here.
I'm not objective at all. Same way I loved Vincent Kompany, and I'm not objective. So we're probably both gonna be wrong on this because we may be overvaluing Bayern because we love Vincent Kompany.
Yeah.
I know I'm overvaluing Dortmund because of Nuri Sahin. But it is what it is.
But I think Bayern did well in the market, getting
They did.
Olise, getting Palhinha. I think those are two good acquisitions, right?
Yes.
Goretzka was a no-show for them last season. I think Palhinha takes that starting defensive midfield position, and it will bring some discipline into that team. Yeah, and Olise, come on, and they still have Sane. They have this Arsenal boy Gnabry. They have Kingsley Coman. They have Harry Kane. For all we say about Harry Kane, a fit Kane is still going to get you 30 goals a season.
It will.
Yeah,
it will.
But on the flip side, exactly. And on the flip side, Leverkusen, they've not done anything of note. Yeah, to improve the team. Yeah, and now that people know, you can't surprise people anymore. Every game for Leverkusen this time will be like a cup game. Everybody will want to beat them. And that's where I believe that they will falter a bit. But I don't think they'll falter up to the point that they will end up being third. I think they're still going to be in the top three. Yeah. So, and Leipzig okay, go ahead.
No, finish your thought. Sorry. Go.
So, and Leipzig, for me, they kept Šeško. They have Openda. They might have lost Olmo, but they still have enough young players that would develop in that Leipzig team to still make them solid. And you know who Dortmund is forever going to be Dortmund. They have their pipeline and Nuri Sahin. Nuri Sahin is a Dortmund legend. I think it fits perfectly. I'll be surprised if they don't make top four. So that's my thought process.
It's so funny because in the DFB Poco game, he and Kompany dressed exactly alike. I thought that was interesting. They both had a white t-shirt on and I think black slacks or whatever. I was just like, this is crazy. Anyway.
Yeah.
So quick one on Leverkusen. I think they kept the person they had to keep, at least so far. It may change. Victor Boniface. They had to keep him. He was injured most of the season. They're going to need him to get to that next level. They need, you can't go a second season getting into all these tight games. Yeah. They need to score goals more easily.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if he can stay healthy, I think it's better than Füllkrug. Dortmund lost Füllkrug. I think they kept the person they need to keep if they actually do.
I agree.
So
I agree.
And Xhaka is motivated. Is the leader of that team. That's another win. And they have the same coach.
Wirtz will get better, right?
He's already getting better, bro.
Exactly.
He's already getting better. It's ridiculous.
Get better. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So we move over to La Liga. Okay. Last year was Madrid, Barcelona, out of nowhere Girona, and then perennial underachievers Atleti. So who do you have this year?
So it's going to be Madrid Barca, Atletico Madrid. And so this fourth one, I had Sociedad before. I had Sociedad in there before.
That's aggressive.
But the disappointment, I watched their game this evening. I'm like, I was taken aback by their lineup. I thought the people I expected to see, I didn't see them. I don't know whether they're injured.
Mikel Merino is coming to Arsenal, so he didn't play.
So I mean, Zubimendi played and he actually scored.
Zubimendi is not going to Liverpool.
He's not going to Liverpool. He played, he scored.
He never wants to leave Sociedad, so he's staying.
So I expected I will see what's his name, this Nigerian boy. I thought it was going to have a breakout season this year. Sadiq.
Which one?
But
okay.
Sadiq.
The tall kid.
Yeah, the tall kid. I don't even think he made the bench. Yeah, which was kind of surprising to me. Bryce Mendes played, but he didn't have a fantastic game. Kubo played, he didn't have a fantastic. Oyarzabal looked leggy.
They didn't have a preseason.
Maybe that's it. But I think I'm just going to stick to them. I think I'll stick to
Sociedad, number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. On this, we are not aligned. We are not aligned at all. So, I have Madrid winning.
Uh-huh.
I have Atleti coming second.
Yeah?
Even though I like Hansi Flick, I don't like his personnel. And I like what Atleti is trying to do with the Chelsea kid, Gallagher. You know, I'm like, they're finally addressing needs. They're not recycling all these old Spanish players in midfield, you know, and I'm like, they're getting rid of their biggest problem. Well, not yet, but they're trying, which is, the John Felix. Yeah. So get rid of him. Because I mean, he's just
That's harsh. That's harsh. He's not their biggest problem.
Yinka is a symbol, right? Which is pay 100 and whatever million pounds, get 10 goals and 3 assists. What are we doing?
Their biggest problem is that guy that always wears black on the touchline. Watch him mess this up.
It could.
He doesn't know what to do with offensive talent. I don't know why people don't realize this already.
But you know,
do you know the extent of offensive talent he has, but yet he still plays defensive every game?
I know, but he's bought the ultimate cheat code in Alvarez. He's bought the ultimate cheat code. We said the same thing
about Angel Correa when they bought Angel Correa, right?
Okay, fine.
He's had Antoine Griezmann for donkey years, yes or no? Griezmann keeps bailing this dude out every time. He's had Marcos Llorente, who for me, I'm surprised, he's messed Marcos Llorente up to the point that, was Marcos Llorente part of the Spanish team that went for the Euros? No.
If he was, he didn't play.
If he was, he didn't play, exactly. And Marcos Llorente was like the next big thing in Spanish football. What has he done to him?
Okay, you're making me rethink.
No. Don't go ahead. Right. Yeah, It might change. Maybe he will start wearing white suits on the touchline now.
Maybe that's the problem. Maybe. Change to green, maybe?
Change to green.
Okay. So, Madrid, Atleti, Barcelona, Valencia. You know, like I said, Sociedad was a wild card for you. Valencia is a wild card for me.
I thought you were going to go Girona. I will have cut your head from here.
I don't believe in them. I just don't. I think it was a nice one season run.
And they sold their 2 best players already. Jovic is at Roma. Savinho played for City today. So
no.
They're dead. Anyway.
And then, according to you, the daddy of them all, the EPL.
Yeah.
Okay.
The big boss.
All right. Give it to me.
You tell me what you have, because...
Oh, okay. So I have Arsenal. So first, last year was City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I have it at Arsenal, City, Liverpool, Aston Villa.
Okay.
Flipped first and second.
Flip City and Arsenal for me too.
Oh, so we have the same?
No, we don't have the same. I still think City have more than enough, right? So
City will win for you.
I think so.
Okay, so you have City, Arsenal,
Liverpool,
and then Liverpool, Villa. You know what Arsenal's next game is? It's away at Villa.
Yeah, I do.
So you can let's talk about that real quick. Quick. So I've talked about this stat before. In Arteta's 4 seasons, remember the first season, it came in almost halfway, December, maybe a third of the way in, whatever. He finished 25 points behind, 24 behind, 5 behind, and 2 behind. Okay?
Yeah.
This last season, he took 4 points off of Liverpool. He took 4 points off of City. There's no guarantee that will happen again.
Yeah.
At the beginning of last season, I told you, we didn't have a podcast then, but I told you that Arsenal needs to beat City home and away. Everyone thought I was insane. But I'm like, you need to beat them home and away. One, to prove to yourself you can do it, to prove to them that you can do it, and because you're going to need it. Because they will go on a 12-game winning streak, not unbeaten streak. Their unbeaten streak will stretch into 27. I'm talking winning streak. They do it every year. So you got to beat them home and away. We didn't. We could have. We didn't. But guess what? Villa beat us home and away. We finished 2 points behind. Win either of the games against Villa, you're champions.
Mm-hmm.
It's that simple. There's no, goals difference.
Mm-hmm.
Win both, you're champions with a cushion. So this is the biggest game of Arsenal's season next week.
So let me pause you there, right?
Okay.
So Arsenal didn't get any points against Villa last season. Zero points. Arsenal got 1 against Fulham over 6 games, right? So what you said against Villa, I could have said it for Fulham also. So I don't want to.
But Fulham and good.
So which is what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a lot of people. So all of a sudden, your AFTV people, one of the guys on there goes in there and says, "Oh, Emery is better than Arteta." So they are trying to prop up this Villa.
It's so crazy.
I'm like, this is so. There's a difference between, and so guys, let me retract. What the guy said was, "What has Arteta won?" That's what he said.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, over a 5-year period of being a coach against an Emery who has 4 years, and an Emery who's been a coach for how many years now? Probably double digits, right? So you saying what has he won, right, is so irrelevant to this, to whatever it is he was talking about. It's just completely irrelevant. And he just didn't get it. And I'm like, we saw this same Emery, right, when he was at Arsenal, made questionable acquisitions. I'm sure you will argue and say it wasn't his decision. I still believe he was. You can't. I don't think the Arsenal setup then was, we just give you the players. We won't factor your. The only one we knew that he wanted, they didn't give him, was the Pepe Zaha situation.
Zaha, yeah.
That's the only one. He sanctioned Papadopoulos, or what's his name? He sanctioned those deals. So you can't tell me but going back to your point, I agree. It's a very, very important game. Back in every game right now, because you know the person that you are competing against, right? You can't afford to play with your food. That is all I have to say for Arsenal.
It's for you simple.
For you to beat this City, you might have to go the whole league on the whole season.
Tim Howard is one of the lead analysts on our NBC coverage here, right? For the EPL. So it's Tim Howard, Robbie Mustoe, and Robbie Earl. And when they came to their top 4 predictions, I think 2 out of the 3 said Arsenal, and then one of the Robbies said City. Tim Howard was like, Arsenal, and this will be one of many. This would be the beginning, one of many. And he thinks we have enough. So what I go by facts. In calendar 2024, Inca, Arsenal has now played 19 times in the EPL. We've won 17, we've drawn 1, we've lost once to Villa.
Yeah.
That's championship winning, form.
Yeah. I agree.
And now I'm like, I'm no longer petrified to go to Villa. I'm not petrified to go to Wolves. I'm not petrified to go anywhere. Now, everything you say about City is accurate, because they weren't good today. They didn't have to be, because they're that good. You know what I mean? Like your best player that ever lived, Rodri, didn't have to show up.
He didn't show up.
KDB.
That game, it was obvious they had another gear. Not even one. They had 2 or 3 gears that they could shift into. And Chelsea were already playing at their max level. And these guys were just, what's his name? Akonji is turning out to be a super defender.
So good. He's so good.
the only defender or the few defenders right now that are at his level right now is probably only Saliba and maybe Gabriel. Yeah.
So
Akoji
you always have to give it to VDV because did you see the pass for the second goal, for Liverpool's second goal?
Aki, why I'm not putting Virgil there right now
Yeah.
is because he's already he's on the way, he's on his way down. Akanji is on his way up. Saliba is on his way up. Gabriel is on his way up. I've seen the best of VVD. He's not gonna. Yeah. That slight decline is beginning to creep in. But yes, I saw that pass. His brain
is on a different level.
He's on a different level. He's on a completely different level. Yeah. But so, which is why I like doing this stuff, right? But I think it's best we'll revisit it again mid-season. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because then you will know, right? How for me, I think it's still going to be City. My head says City. My heart says Arsenal. The Arsenal's acquisitions, it would have. I understand why some things have not happened yet. Yeah, and I still believe before 30th, there are 2 more signings that Arsenal will make.
Mikel Merino is coming. We know that.
That one might happen as soon as next week.
That's the Shaka.
That one might happen as soon as the next week.
Yeah.
If you don't. This is not a function of the person leaving. But when Nketiah leaves, you need an extra body.
No, you do. No, absolutely.
So now Mikel said something. He said there's no point just replacing for replacement's sake. We need to bring someone that will elevate the team. You have to bring someone to elevate the team. Yeah.
Gyökeres.
So
Gyökeres.
I think Gyökeres is coming.
Yeah, and me too. I do.
I think it's going to be a big money acquisition.
Yeah, 75, 80 million.
Did you see the goal he scored on Saturday?
I did. And Yinka, this is going to be slightly unpopular. So, okay. Remember, we've talked about how Arsenal don't really need a striker.
Yeah.
We can't predict injuries. We can't predict the future. But for every Arsenal fan, let me just remind you. Last year, where were we shaky? Left back, between Zinchenko and Kiwior. Right now, Kiwior is in the dustbin, and Zinchenko has taken the challenge and is playing much better.
Yeah.
Right? He's playing much better. I wouldn't be shocked if he doesn't start away to Villa. But right now, going to Villa...
I don't think he will start.
I don't think he will start because guess what? We bought Calafiori. He's young.
I don't think Calafiori will play.
Oh, so you think Timber? You think Timber will play?
I think Timber starts at left back.
Okay. All right. So just think about Timber is now back. So look, this team, I just want to show people how much better Arsenal is by now really making moves. Because what did the last season's team not have? They didn't have Calafiori. They didn't have Timber. They didn't have a healthy Jesus. They didn't have a settled Havertz.
Yeah.
Right? So because Yinka, if we never signed Jesus 2 years ago and we brought in him right now, are we excited?
Yeah.
Are we excited?
You're jumping off the roof.
Okay. So now we have that Jesus available to play 30 minutes a game.
Yeah.
We become City of 3 years ago. That's what it is. That's what he was doing on City. So I know people won't believe it until it happens, but I'm calling it into existence. City is worried right now. And they should be.
And can I add to your unpopular opinion?
Yeah.
I think Merino is coming in to replace Partey.
Yeah. Well, replace Partey's body, so to speak, but he's not going to play holding midfielder. Merino is not a holder. He's not a holding midfielder.
I think he's going to play holding midfield.
Oh, God, no. We don't need to experiment, bro.
No. So you're not really experimenting. So I don't know this, but when he played Newcastle, right?
Yeah,
Newcastle didn't have this kind of formation. He was playing central defensive midfield for Newcastle, and if you notice, he's a tough tackler. He can play that position, right? That's what I feel. That's what I feel, frankly.
Yeah.
Because Partey might have had a good game against Wolves, right?
A
But I
better
still
game
saw
than he had before. It wasn't good.
That's what I meant. Yeah, it wasn't good.
It
Thank you
wasn't
for
good.
clarifying what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Right? He's still he's a shadow of himself.
Yeah, he would be the reason we lose at Villa if he plays against Villa. He can't run after John McGinn. Bro, he can't run after John McGinn. And John McGinn's fat.
And you are faster. You are faster than McGinn.
I'm faster than John McGinn. But Partey cannot run after John McGinn. I'm actually worried about Partey in that middle. I mean, you gotta, Jorginho will be better because Jorginho was never fast, and
So, which is why I think Timber will start. So
yeah, that makes sense.
So
makes sense.
Timber can help with
inverting and all that. Yeah,
exactly, and helping Partey out in the midfield, right? And I also think Timber's versatility. Timber can play anywhere across the back four, right? So for games where you need to rest Ben White, I think Timber will play right back. Calafiori will play left back, so that he can then invert from the right, and Calafiori will be on the right. Gabriel will be in the middle, then Saliba will be on the right. But anyway, enough of Arsenal. And let's put our predictions in a time capsule. We'll revisit it in 6 months, and we'll see whether we're changing it or not. Yeah?
Okay. So, cool. Ika, you know what's better than top 4 predictions?
You tell us.
More predictions. So, our next segment, Yinka, is Yinka and Akin's wild predictions sure to go wrong. How many do you have? I'm not even sure how many I have. How many do you have?
You have many. I have 3.
Okay, so I'm gonna start. So, do you want to alternate?
Let's alternate. You go first.
Okay. So my first one is very simple.
Okay.
Eric Ten Hag will be fired, and Ruud van Nistelrooy will be the new Man U manager. And I think it happens by January, but it will happen. And I say this because I saw both of them get up during the match, the Fulham match, and one looked very small and insignificant, and the other looked big and tall and commanding. And he just coached PSV. That's a real job. Oh, was it? Yeah, it was PSV. That's a real job. I don't think they brought him here just to help this guy. I think he's gonna be the next coach. What's your next coach?
I think so too. And well, we'll see by January. I think so too.
Okay.
Ten Hag had better look behind, watch his back, and make sure he does the right thing. So I have a crazy one to start with. Yeah?
Go for it.
I think Chelsea will be relegated.
Whoa! Okay, all right. Say more.
See the dysfunction right now. What do you need me to say anymore? Can't you see it?
But these are good players. They're better than Ipswich players. They're better than Leicester players. Who was the third team that came up? I don't even know. Southampton?
It's Southampton.
They're better than Southampton players who don't know how to play out of the back. Chelsea don't know how to play out of the back too, but
Chelsea don't know how to play out of the back. They don't.
Yinka, there's one guy on that team on whose account I can tell you they will not get relegated. Fofana. Fofana.
Okay. So let's talk about Fofana, who was injured all through last season, right?
It was.
Fofana didn't even play this preseason. I was shocked. He played some games. I was shocked he started ahead of Tosin Adarabioyo. Adarabioyo was on the bench today, right?
Adarabioyo is not a Chelsea level player, bro.
Chelsea have like 7. They have like 7 goalkeepers.
They have 9.
Who started today?
No, they have 9.
They have 9. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Guess who started? The guy that they relegated last season that didn't play games, Sanchez, started in goal.
Sanchez started. Yeah.
Right? They're all over the place. They've just told Raheem Sterling and Ben Chilwell that their services are no longer required.
And Ben Chilwell was the captain. They paid £50 million for Ben Chilwell.
You're telling me this dysfunction, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe I should, revisit they might be in a relegation battle. I don't see, anyway. Maresca wants to play out from the back. He wants to.
Maresca can coach. I think we can agree on that. Okay. I think we can agree on that.
You see that my take is not as crazy. I'm sure some of our friends, two of them will come after me, but this is intentional.
Your take is this is the worst thing you've ever said in your life. This is terrible. Because it would never happen. The players are too good. They're too good.
Imagine if it does. But are they really too good?
They're good. They're good. They're not great.
Jackson?
Bruh. Jackson, if you put Jackson on any of the promoted teams right now, it will keep them in the league. Jackson will score 13 goals easy. If he's playing every 90 minutes every game, it will give you 13 to 15 goals. He's a good player. The problem is Chelsea are supposed to be at City level for all the money they've spent. You remember what we talk about. Expectations is the thief of joy. If Chelsea had no expectations, then fine. Their players are nice. You know what I mean? This is okay. All this stuff going on. But if your expectation is, I'm going to compete with City, you can't play Jackson.
Anyway, Akin, you said his wild prediction sure to go wrong, right?
Yeah. Oh, that's true. You wanted to make sure.
Exactly. I went ballpark.
You wanted to make sure this one actually did go.
I made sure I hit a home run with my first, right?
Okay.
Anyway, so what's your second one?
Let's see. I mean, this is not, you already know how I feel about this, so this is not wild. Mm-hmm. I think Arsenal is going to win the league, and it's not going to be tight. I think they will win very comfortably. Now, comfortably could mean with one game to go, but it's not going to go down to the last day of the season. I'm thinking of buying tickets to go to England, to go to London for the final game of the season.
That'd be pencil me in. I'll do same.
Okay,
that'd be interesting.
I don't even have to be in the stadium. I just want to be around the stadium, and not sleep for 2 days celebrating our first title.
I'm on the red membership stuff, so
okay.
I think you are too, aren't you?
I
will ticket hunt definitely. If that's happening, I'll put an alarm out for the tickets the day it's released, and I will make no. Because that's it. Because they announced, they will tell you
the batches of games and stuff.
Batches of games, the tickets will be available on so dates. So the date that it happens, I'm on Ticket Exchange. I'm looking for the tickets significantly.
Let's do it, Yinka. Let's do it. And then we can do a London podcast, and we can have maybe some of it outside of the Emirates or whatever.
Outside of the Emirates. We'll figure it out. But that is if Arsenal are going to win.
You gotta have faith. You gotta have faith.
Okay,
you gotta have faith.
Enough.
So win the league comfortably. 2, 3, 5 points, something like that. That's comfortable against this cheating team. But anyway, what's your second?
Second, Ipswich will stay up. That's my second one.
I think it's a good one.
You said that earlier on. I think they'll stay up. And they have the heritage. They belong. I remember we were watching match of the week back then, right? Yeah. Ipswich was a name that it was quite popular back then. Yeah. Ipswich.
Did Finidi play for them? Who did Finidi play for?
Finidi played for Ipswich.
Yeah. He played for when he left Betis, right? Yeah.
When he left Betis. Yeah. Ipswich, Coventry. These are teams that should be in the EPL. Yeah.
Coventry and Ndlovu played for Coventry.
Peter Ndlovu played for Coventry back in the day. So I think Ipswich is still. Yeah.
Okay. So back to
what else? Yeah.
For my last one. Liverpool will be just fine. Liverpool will be just.
These are not wild predictions, Akin. You are saying things that is not shocking me. I'm not like,
the way people are acting. It's like, Liverpool died and there's a funeral. I'm like, what are you talking about? They didn't lose any player that they wanted to keep. They brought in a manager who is used to winning. He's young. He works hard. He's going to work his way through stuff, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to get everything right, right? But this is an extremely good team. It's just shocking to me the way analysis goes. I'm like, any top team who doesn't take Liverpool, I can see Liverpool beating City home and away. I can see Liverpool beating Arsenal home and away. If City and Arsenal don't show up, that's how good they are. And Mo Salah is still a top 5 player in this league.
Absolutely.
Mo Salah will be in the conversation for player of the season, because he is that good. So for me, I'm like, Liverpool will be just fine. Everybody calm down. The sky's not falling. They will be in the conversation, and I don't think it's going to be like a top 2 separation than Liverpool. I don't think that's going to happen at all. I think this is a 3-horse race.
I agree.
And I think Arsenal is going to emerge top of the 3-horse race.
You had to make it about Arsenal at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Come on.
Keep it up. So the last one for me is not English league related. It's in Europe.
Okay.
I don't think Madrid will even make it to the UCL final this season.
Wow. Okay. That's their birthright.
Nah, they're not making it to the finals this season.
Wow. The Mbappe curse? Like the hurricane curse? Is that what it is?
Something like that.
Dang.
Something like that. You see, they I don't want to say they're lucky last season, but they think kind of. Now I told you about tough games and whatever. City was the only tough game they had, quote unquote, last season.
They had some breaks. They had some good breaks.
Yeah, and I just think it will be very, very odd for things to line up for you again this season the way it did last season. Yeah,
but Yinka, they also rode their luck, but they also made their luck, right?
I know.
Because,
I know.
Yeah, okay. Because some of the injuries they had would have broken, other teams. Bellingham, pretty much saw them through the first half of the season. Just the energy alone that it wasn't just his goals, but his goals were crazy. His goals beat Barcelona twice. That was the league done. That was the league done. Okay, that's interesting. It's not the wildest thing because you don't know who you're gonna play in the Champions League, so you never know.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Those are my 3.
All right. Okay.
It'll be interesting to see the ones that really, really then come to pass. Yeah.
All right. We'll sit together in London and see where we are in May.
And see where we are.
Right. How about that?
That's fine.
All right. Yinka, we're doing pretty good on time. So let's go to our worthy mention / rapid fire. We can have it a little modified. We don't have to go just one sentence per whatever, but let's keep it short and tight. So the first thing on my list, Yinka, is the Chelsea and Osimhen saga. Where is this young man going to play? Is he going to Chelsea? Is he going to PSG? What say you?
I think he's going to stay at Napoli.
Oh, wow. Okay, that should have been your wild prediction.
I think he's going to stay at Napoli.
Wow.
Nobody wants him. Where else is he going to go?
But why would you really think is this Finidi thing? Who's checking for Finidi in world football, Yinka?
Aki, this is no longer news, right? Arteta, for example, had a meeting with what's his name? Ivan Toney, right? You know this. And it was said or it's reported that the outcome of that meeting was just, I don't want this guy.
Wow.
Right? Clubs look out for this kind of things. They do. Because, see, I'm telling you this is who I am. Believe me. Don't say, he's just having a bad day. Come on. Yeah, believe me. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Right? And we always say this about fair value. Fair value is what a willing buyer is willing to pay for you. Osimhen's valuation of himself, he's way up here. Let's see where people see my hand. He's up here. Every other person's valuation of Osimhen is down here. And there is an ego trip going on right now where he doesn't want to align with every other person's valuation of. He has told Napoli that he wants to leave. He's not going on loan and he's not going to reduce his salary. Dude, he said you don't want to go to Saudi either. The only people that are willing right now to meet your demands are Saudi. Something has to give. So if I were him, he only has 1 year left on his deal, which is why I said I think he will stay. He will just say, you know what, I'll let this season play out, right? And I'll go on a free to wherever I want to go next year. And I can earn more money for myself.
Absolutely.
Right? But then the thing is, Conte right now does not want him also. Conte wants him gone.
Conte wants Lukaku.
Conte wants Lukaku. And Akin, between you and I, in the Serie A, right? Lukaku, Osimhen, potatoes, that is not really significantly different. So the reason why Conte doesn't want him is because of attitude issues. Go ahead.
Yes. And Lukaku, so the valuation that Chelsea has put on Lukaku is 35 million pounds.
How the mighty are
Conte wants to pay 27. So I think this is gonna happen because 27 to 35 is 8 million pounds. But I'm shocked that the valuation of Lukaku is only 35 million pounds. I mean, that's Eddie Nketiah valuation.
Yeah.
You know, how old is Lukaku, Yinka?
He's 29 or 30, I think.
Yeah, but he can still put the ball at the back of the net, right? So
this is the problem, right? And this is why we tell people your ego. You need to curtail your ego at times. Lukaku at Inter, Lautaro Martinez combination at Inter. If he had stayed back, Lukaku will be worshipped in San Siro right now. All the accolades that Thuram is getting, who is half the footballer that Lukaku is, right? Lukaku should be getting that. But what happened to him? I want to prove you people wrong that I can play in England, right? See what happened to him. See what happened to him. Yeah? So I don't know. Right now, PSG is not interested in Osimhen.
That's crazy. Because they want everybody.
Osimhen wants to play Champions League football. Arsenal don't want him. Chelsea are not even playing. Chelsea are playing qualifiers for Europa League or something. They have a game midweek. So he himself is not really interested in Chelsea. They are trying to convince him.
He will fit in at Chelsea.
They're trying to convince him to go to Chelsea. And
he will
Chelsea
fit in at
saying,
Chelsea.
we can't buy you. We can't buy you. We want to loan you. That's what Chelsea is saying. And they're probably telling him. So the negotiations are so bad that Osimhen will need to say, you know what? I want to go to Chelsea. Whatever the deal is, I'll take it. But his ego is up there. He doesn't want to do that.
All right. Let me ask you real quick. Does this have anything to do with the fact that, so in 4 seasons, right, with Napoli, it's played 133 matches in all competitions. It's scored 76 goals. I think that's a great return, right?
Absolutely.
But it's only 1 season that has been truly, truly, truly like, eye-popping goals, you know? 2 seasons ago, 39 matches, 31 goals. Otherwise, it's been 10 in 30, 18 in 32, 17 in 32. So again, I say, most of the people whose names you throw around, those are the kinds of numbers they return. If you back out that 1 season where he does 31 in 39, his goal scoring average is nice, but it's not Mbappe level. It's not 100 and something million pounds, footballer level. So is that really what the issue is? Maybe that's what the real issue is.
No. So see that 1 season that he had when he was committed and he wasn't injured, he didn't have his mask then and his face issues, right? To be fair, he was a problem in Serie A.
It was.
He was a major problem. Then he had the nose issue. They won the league. Then he had the nose issue. He had the mask. Then he had that first game in the season where he lost the penalty and they started making jest of him. I think at that particular point, he switched off mentally. What I just don't understand which is why I think he should fire his agents, was why on earth did you sign the 2-year extension?
Money.
He could have done the Mbappe. Just sit tight.
But
right now, he will
Mbappe makes a lot of money from other sources. I'm pretty sure Osimhen doesn't.
Nah, Akin. You play the long term. You don't. I don't know. I don't know.
I understand.
I wouldn't have signed. I wouldn't have signed. I would have waited out, go on a free, and go get that £200,000 per week signing. And I'll tell you, I'm doing you a favor signing for you. If you're going to buy me on the open market, you'll have paid 40 million.
Yeah.
Give me 20 million out of that 40, spread it over my contract. In addition to what you'll have paid me on the weekly before. That's more money for him.
Yeah. No, that's real.
I don't know why he signed. I don't get it.
Financial security. Financial security. All right. Okay. So that was the first one. Thank you.
Yeah.
Inka Yusuf.
Yes, sir.
My other national team, the U.S. men's national team, we have a new coach now. Your favorite coach in the world, Mauricio Pochettino, is now U.S. national team manager, Mauricio Pochettino. What say you?
I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Absolutely impressed. And this shows that the U.S. team is serious about their national team, right?
Yeah.
They're like, we're tired of all this. What's the guy that is the Canadian coach?
Jesse Marsh.
That was at least
Jesse Marsh. Yeah, Jesse Marsh.
Jesse December, whatever his name is. And we don't want people with months as their surname. We need a proper coach.
My God! Stop it!
And I like it. They gave him a 2-year deal, and they're like, he's open for renewal, right? Just go make us the best version of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Fantastic deal for him. Deal for him. And I think he's done enough in club football to actually say, you know what? I need a break from club football. Club football rather. Let me try this national team. This could be my calling, right? For example, there are some people that just flourished at national team level that didn't really, do well at club level. Yeah.
I know. We know one of them. Martinez, Belgium. Now Portugal.
Now Portugal,
disaster at Everton.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And he's doing well. So I like this for Pochettino, and I also like this for the US. Group of young players who need an experienced manager that can tell them this is how stuff works, rather than someone that's just playing around and pissing around.
No,
anyway.
you hit all the high notes. So the US has to do well at the World Cup. This is not Nigeria. The US is hosting the World Cup. It's so hard to buy mind space in this country. All the 4 major sports. Baseball, hockey, basketball, NFL, right?
Yeah.
And the US dominates the sprints, and nobody cares in the US. Nobody cares. These guys are fighting for that mind share, right? Because nobody cares in the US. People probably watch US athletes running more in Africa than they do here. You can't cut through. There's too much entertainment. This is the capital of entertainment worldwide. It's really, really, really hard to cut through. And then when you get into football, our football, not NFL, you have the women on top. So how do you cut through? So the US has to have a good showing at the World Cup. And in this country, a good showing is you got to make the semifinals. None of this, because the average American who is going to casually watch doesn't get the context that the men's national team is not the US, women's national team. So they don't understand why you can't make it to the semifinals. So they have no choice.
Yeah.
They had to do this. Now, I was hoping when I heard Vieira might take the job, I was hoping that, Vieira might take this job. I would have loved to see Vieira take it, Now, the only hiccup here is there are rumors that he has an out that he can leave to go coach Man U. I know. I know. The Athletic was reporting that will he leave to go coach, Man U or whatever. So that's the only thing. If
I'm
the
not
Man U
sure.
job becomes open,
I'm not sure Man U will want him. Also, I don't think so.
we don't know. We don't know,
I
right?
think
So
Van Nistelrooy is poised.
to
In
be the
fact,
Man U,
is
to be the
poised
Man
to
U
be the
manager.
next Man U manager.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on.
I love this. I mean,
I love it.
The thing
I love it.
is done well with young talent in the past.
Yeah.
It's done well with young attacking talent in the past.
Mm-hmm.
The US has enough. I joke all the time that the US is going to win the World Cup before any African country does it. There's enough. There's something there to work with. It's
there is.
Okay, Yinka. Let's stay on the theme of new managerial faces in new places. Your other favorite, Steve Maclaren, is the new manager of Jamaica. Why?
You know what they are smoking there? the people that appointed him and he himself that decided to take up the appointment. Steve Maclaren was he not on? Has he not always been on the Man United's coaching crew for forever?
Yeah, it was
Middlesbrough. Was at Middlesbrough for a long time. He dabbled into the English national team. Right?
Dabbled.
There is a reason why he's number 2 at Man U, and it's been that for a very long time. Right?
Yeah, because it's a
but I'm
clown.
not shocked.
That's why.
Exactly.
It's a clown.
So you have an inept coach that is going to a national team that is poorly run, right?
Yeah.
You've seen Bailey.
Leon Bailey is not going to play
Leon
for
Bailey.
Yeah.
He's documented his issues with the Jamaican Football Association. Blah 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 blah. Right. So I think this is a match made in heaven. Right.
Oh my God. So Yinka, not because I didn't have anything better to do, but because I couldn't help myself. I watched a little bit of his initial press conference. If you haven't seen it, I encourage you to. This man was trying to tell the Jamaican people, how he loves, the Jamaican situation or whatever. And he talked about his work on the technical committee for FIFA and how, after he did about 20 countries or whatever for FIFA, and Jamaica just seemed like they were the next one up or something ridiculous to that effect. And I'm like, I expected, I saw 5, 6, 7 players. No
exactly.
Detail. Just platitudes. No detail. I think it's really just there for the food and the money. But, good luck to him and to them, I guess.
And maybe whatever it is that they're smoking there that is interesting.
That is smoking over there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. We talked about Liverpool, right?
Yeah.
We just talked about Liverpool earlier. Liverpool hasn't signed anyone. Should they be worried?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not. They have enough. I told you this last season. I said, squad depth, I think Liverpool actually have a deeper squad than every other person.
Than City, yeah. You said it.
Yeah, they do. The problem might be quality in some specific positions, which was why they were really after Zubimendi. They thought in Gravenberch and Endo, right? Yeah. Gravenberch and Endo, they needed to upgrade, right? Yeah. Other than that, if you look at across board, they're quite decent, So I don't think it's the end of the world if they've not signed anybody. And frankly, they could just be also managing their FFP or PNS rule situation very well. So I don't like people just signing people for signing's sake. Chelsea. But this is an example, and they have young players that are coming on board that can really make things happen. So Kwanzaa, Harvey Elliott, Jones, Bradley, all these young boys are
all these guys.
They're proving that we can make stuff happen. So Liverpool fans, nothing to worry about. No signings, fine. And if they can't find any reasonable sign now, they will still have January window to make any amends. But yeah, I'm not worried about Liverpool not signing anybody.
So I don't know who they spoke with on the Zubimendi thing, but there was never a chance in hell that it was going to go there. think about it this way. Arteta has wanted this guy for 2 years, right? Arteta is Basque. Zubimendi is Basque.
Yes.
The man said, I'm not leaving. You think he's going to go to Liverpool? Stop it. What is going on? It was never going to go to Liverpool. The man does not want to leave Sociedad. I don't understand it, but it's a nationalist type thing. You know, he wants to be in Basque country. It is what it is, right? But if he left, he will go play for another man from his hometown. He would not go play for the Dutch guy in Liverpool.
In Liverpool.
You know? So anyway, but to your point, Gravenberch and Endo, I don't remember how much they paid for them, but they're better than Caicedo and Enzo at Chelsea.
Okay, everybody's better than Caicedo and Enzo at Chelsea.
So, and they got them for a fraction. So Liverpool fans, you're fine. Don't worry about it.
You're fine.
You guys,
yes, sir.
Man City's 115 charges. So the case is actually, moving forward. So reporting from The Athletic was saying that the penalty could be as large as 70 to 80 points. 70 to 80 points. That's automatic relegation. Straight up, if that happens.
So
do we love it, or do we really love it?
Is it going to be retrospective?
No, not retroactive. Whenever you get it, minus 70, minus 80 points. Just like Nottingham Forest, just like Everton, you can't go back.
So just relegate them already. Just relegate them already.
But that's what it means. They will be relegated. That's what it means. If you get a 70-point deduction, I mean, you're not. I mean, even at their best, they had 100 and what points? They've had 101.
101. I think it was 101. Yeah.
Okay. So that will leave them with 31 points. You can't stay up with 31 points if you get 70. If you get 80, that's 21 points. You're getting relegated.
Yeah. So there's no possibility of them canceling the trophies that they've won before?
I mean, the US does that at the NCAA level. They used to do that. There's no. Put it this way.
If they're not doing that, then I don't really care. You've cheated people already in the past. You forced Klopp to resign. Let me put it that. You sent Klopp, happy ever smiling Klopp. You sent him to early. The reason why Arsenal doesn't have a whatever. Now you're not telling me you're just going to relegate them. That the season is
Klopp to go spend more time with his family.
If you're just going to dock them points, then frankly, I don't care. Whatever happens, it should happen.
Oh my gosh!
The only thing I'm happy about is these looming dark clouds. The rain will eventually fall, and we'll know where we are. Right? Because I've always hated these 115 charges looming, no conclusive position. So by January we will know we'll know what's happening. Yeah. So for me, that's the only positive in this. Yeah.
All right. And last but not least, Vini Jr. to Saudi. The rumors are like 300 million a year, 3-year contracts. That's $1 billion. A bunch of other money here and there. And apparently, initially, there was reporting that he immediately said no. And then later we found out that he took the meeting, or his representatives took the meeting. I would say Vini Jr. is from the favelas, as is Anthony, as is Rodrigo, all these cats.
Yeah.
If someone's throwing 300 million pounds at you, I think it was $300 million, but let's just say it's 300 million pounds for 1 year of work. You gotta go.
You'd be a fool not to take it.
You gotta go. He's so young. He can come back and play 5 more years. If Real doesn't want you, City after they come back up can buy you.
And if it is a 1-year deal, you're coming on a free to wherever you're going to anyway. So
yeah, no. Say he even goes for 2 to 3 years. It's not gonna
yeah,
stop being good. You
yeah,
know, just go there, intensive training, whatever it is. Go be an ambassador. You know.
This Newcastle cat, what's his name again? The Saint Maximin, or what's his name? Yeah, that's
Oh
his name,
yeah,
right?
the French guy. Yeah, yeah. Saint
He's no longer
Maximin.
in
Yeah.
Saudi League, is he? I think he left.
Oh,
I
really? He
think he's
came
now in
back.
Turkey.
Oh,
No, I think he went to Turkey also. I think he's in Turkey right now. Right?
but see,
So he
I don't
took the money.
understand. If you leave Saudi because you want more competition, why would you go to Turkey?
So the Turkey, come on, Aki. The Turkish league is stronger than the Saudi league.
I know, but it's not stronger than the French league. That's where you're from. Go to France.
No, the Turkish league is tax free. I think you need to look into all these things. So you need to,
I know.
You need to find a soft landing spot, right? You can't go from plenty money tax free. You now go to a French league where they're paying you peanuts and they're taxing it further, dude. You need to find the balance. So the Turkish is back in the Turkish. So going back to Vini Jr, you're absolutely spot on, right? He'll be a fool not to take the meeting to start with, and he will be a fool not to consider. So for those that don't know, Nigerians listening to us, favelas is like Abi. It's like, let's say, Ajegula is even better.
It's the hood. It's the hood.
It's the proper hood, right?
Yeah, it's the hood.
Come on, you're a footballer for how many years of your life? You've got to consider it, yeah. And it could be. I'm not sure of this, right? But Yoruba say Ajekila na omokuloni. Mbappe arrives, and the next thing is taking a meeting with Saudi.
Yeah. It may be a ploy to get more money with Real.
Absolutely.
That's
it. Might be a ploy to say, guy, assurances, more money. I need to be on the same level with this dude, right? Or closer to this dude in terms of salary. So could be.
What's the other one? Image rights or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And he'll just say, he'll be like, guys, I have enough to let you know that I'm not happy here. I can just hide behind the fact that the whole of Spain they've treated me badly from a racism perspective, right? So, you need to make it worth my while for me to continue to play for you, right? So it's a smart move on his behalf. Whether he goes or he doesn't, if I were him, if I were his agent, I'll ask him to take the meeting. You have to take the meeting and let the whole world believe that you are really interested.
That you might go.
That you might go. Right. You have to do that. Yeah, you have to.
All right. So, do we have a donkey of the week this week?
Of course we do.
Oh,
of course we do.
Go for it.
Single nomination winner automatically. I'm sure you know the people I'm going to talk to about
the referees of the EPL. Go ahead.
No, actually, no. I'm done with the referees at this point.
Okay, go for
it. It's Chelsea, Enzo Maresca, and making Enzo Fernandez. What's his name? Yeah, Enzo.
The captain.
Making Enzo captain. You don't. Come on, read the room.
Yeah.
Read the room. It's like you just looked at all the black players in there and you give them the middle finger. That's what you've done.
Yeah.
Just give them a middle finger. We don't care, right? It's bad optics. It's bad. It's bad squad building, team bonding, right? You needed to earn it. Captainship is not given to you. You earn it. His behavior over the past couple of weeks does not deserve him to be given the armband. It doesn't. I'm sorry.
And his play hasn't earned it either. That's what's crazy about this.
Exactly. He's not inspirational. You are arguably the highest paid, the guy they paid the highest fee for, and it hasn't translated onto the pitch.
No.
So is it by fees now that you're giving people the armband? If you really needed to give somebody the armband, give it to Cole Palmer, right? He single-handedly took you to wherever you are, right? And he will start every game, won't he? He will. Once fit, he will start, right? So give it to Cole Palmer if you really want to. If you really want to give someone, if you're really looking for a white boy to give it to Cole Palmer, right?
Well, I mean, Cole Palmer is black, but okay. Like we said, don't let the paint job fool you.
And then paint job fool you. Anyway,
So all of this is happening, Yinka, because Rhys James is injured again.
And, it gets to a point where I don't see when you get injured, coming back is it's not just the injury healing. There's also that mental fortitude and that mental strain, right? That it takes off you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
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 Because the first day after the injury, you're down. You're at the bottom. And if you're not the strong will type, right? You might just get to a point you'll be like, you know what? That's it. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Right? So I pray that he gets his body right. Yeah. But the way things are going, his career might be shortened significantly. Yeah. And it's not one particular thing that bugs him. It's ankle today, knee tomorrow, hamstring the day after, muscle. Those kind of things are crazy. Yeah. I keep going back to Marco van Basten. Marco van Basten was a fantastic striker that didn't have a kneecap. There were fans that were willing to donate. There are fans that were willing to donate their kneecaps for him. I'm serious. There were fans that wanted to donate their kneecaps for him. I'm sure if technology or medical science had advanced significantly in those years, they will have tried it out. But right now, he couldn't find footballer that his career got shortened because of injury. Right? So I hope he gets his body sorted. But yeah, this injury record is not positive at all. All
right. So your donkey of the week.
Donkey of the week is the whole Chelsea hierarchy, right?
Chelsea setup. Yeah.
Somebody in there should have said, guys, this is a bad idea. Somebody should have. Right? I know you put the blame at Maresca's foot, right? Or feet.
Absolutely.
So even if he allowed, somebody above should have said, come on, guys, we can't do this. Yeah, so for me, it's Maresca, the whole hierarchy. Even Enzo himself should have said, guys, are you sure I should let this
not the time or the place, like you I mean, I'm looking at other situations where stuff has happened, like Saka would not have taken the armband right after he gave the middle finger to fans. I mean,
exactly. Anyway, okay, let's leave it at that. Okay.
I think we're done, Yinka.
We're done.
Let's wrap this.
All right, people. Once again, thank you for the activities, the comments on our social media platforms, the follows, the likes, the subscriptions. Well, we are Oliver Twist. We want more.
Absolutely.
We're tracking towards 1,000 subscribers right now. So, guys, if you like what we're doing, please give us subscribe to our channel, follow us on all our social media platforms, tell your friends about us. I think what we will do, Aki, we've been saying we'll do a giveaway. That will be announced. I keep saying this. Apologies, guys. It's not Aki's fault. It is my fault.
No, it's not.
So I think we will announce something by the time we clock 1,000 subscribers. We'll do like a raffle.
Good.
We'll do a raffle and we'll randomly select a couple of people and we'll list out the prizes. So watch out for that. I might even throw in one of the merch that Dodo Mayana signed for us. I might throw that in because I still have them. But guys, please, we appreciate the engagements. We appreciate everything. We want more, so please give us more. Okay.
All right. Thank you, Yinka. All very well said. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate the time. And we will see you next week. And bye-bye.